Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I know most of you guys have been waiting for this for a long time. It's one of the videos that I made when I first started, and we are finally back here. We're finally going to address the updated waifu tier list. Just letting you guys take a moment here, take a breath. I know this can be very intense. I know many of you feel very passionate about your waifus just as much as I feel passionate about my husbandos. So just breathe, and we're going to go ahead and go down the list. The criteria that I'm basing them on is going to be based off their general usability in game, my personal opinion on them, and the opinion that I think you should probably have on them. Now, I am 100% objective, and this is a very serious video. So for those of you guys who think I haven't done the work to put into this video, please recognize that all of these ladies have been my waifu at least once. Sometimes twice. Now let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with our good girl Katia here. Now Katia is nothing special, but she's also not terrible, but she also uses a mace, so she's going D tier. We also have Grace here. Now Grace is actually surprisingly a very good unit, and I think she's actually undervalued compared to Phoebe, and I think a lot of people think Phoebe is actually the better healer than her. But I actually think Grace is better because Grace is one of the only other healing units that also has access to full life, very similarly to Ayaka. And because she's so undervalued for the hard work that she puts out, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put Grace in A tier. If you haven't spent time with Grace, make sure you think about it. Make sure you take a look. Marguerite, our new roguishly dashing villain protagonist from Wazette. That's also a good guy that works for Glaciella. So, I mean, where do we feel about Marguerite? Her TMR is pretty good. She kind of has a strong entrance in the story. I think, though, we're going to just put her in C tier. C tier is kind of that, like, yeah, this is Marguerite. And you might have a couple people who are, like, desperately, like, love this unit. But that's going to be few and far in between, and I almost never see her. So, because her TMR is just a little bit usable, we're going to put her in C tier. Murmur. Now, Murmur, back in the day, I called Murmur the Orlando Killer, and I couldn't have been more wrong in my conversation. I actually rated her significantly higher than I probably should have. Murmur is going to receive just the quick and brutal treatment of D tier as well. So sorry, Murmur. Now, I'm gonna get in trouble on this one, I think, because there's a lot of people out there who love Mia. And there's a special person to my heart, Queen Druid, who absolutely loves Mia, and if I do anything terrible to Mia, or rate her lesser than A tier, I'm gonna get in trouble. But because this is objective, and I love you guys, we're gonna put Mia in B tier. I think she's good waifu material. I think most people are gonna be leveling her for Mug and actually getting some type of utilization out of her. I don't think she's gonna be incredible. I don't think she's gonna be life-changing for you. Everyone kind of has her, everyone kind of uses her, so we're just gonna throw her in B tier, and that's where she's gonna be. Our first UR on the list, Etone. Now, my feelings on Etone are that Etone is for a very special person, and that special person is not me. Etone, whenever I see a Etone, I cringe, but I don't cringe as much as when I see a Venera. Now, when I see them both, that's when things start getting really scary, but that's so rarely the case. And I know there's many people out there, like Dark Sukiyai and Chowders, who are just so committed to their ninja bays that they are like all over Etone. In terms of usability, I think Etone's really powerful. So Etone, as much as I cringe whenever I see you, I am gonna put you up in the A tier because you are a very powerful unit. You can stand alone. I cringe when I see you, but I don't cringe too much because I can usually kill you. I think you deserve that. Mashery D tier. Lady Helena. Lady Helena, guys. What can we say? Now, popular opinion here is that Lady Helena would probably be B tier, I would say. We're gonna disagree because I think Lady Helena is S tier. And the only reason that I think Lady Helena is an S tier is because in 6 months, when Black Rose Helena is announced, she is going to be the most badass waifu you have ever encountered. She's going to be incredible. And there's going to be some haters out there who are like, Helena's D tier, what the hell are you doing, Diggs? Just wait until my waifu becomes powerful enough to kick your ass. That's going to be Helena. Black Rose's Helena is coming for your ass, and I hope she's our next double cost UR unit. Sosha. Sosha is a strong A tier. I think Sosha is one of those units that many people underestimate. She actually has great viability, great usability. She's very beginner friendly, and she has some durability and survivability. For an SR unit, she is very powerful. She's got a pretty good TMR, which almost everyone should have. That's going to be used by almost everyone. I'm going to give her A tier because I think she's viable. I think we're going to be using her a lot, and I think, you know, yeah, she's pretty good. Oh, Freyevia next. Freyevia, Global's first exclusive unit. Wonderful in the original Brave Exvius, and kind of trashed here in War of the Visions. I think because she has a broken AI, if she was able to use full life, she might be a little bit better. But pretty much all she does is just spam Curaga, and people have gotten so desperate trying to find ways to use her that they're putting like Val Love on her and literally just having her try and tank, which I think is hilarious. So because of that, and because of all the problems that Freyevia has, we're going to put Freyevia in D tier. This could change in the future. This is 100% in the hands of the developers right now, and that's just that's the way it is, guys. That's how the cookie crumbles. Oh. Ayaka. Now, Ayaka and me have some history. If you don't know, Ayaka is my ex-waifu. And my ex-waifu and I, when I first started the game, were in a really rocky relationship. She just decided to like cure all over me. Like I didn't know it, and she would full life on like my opponent's chest, and the next thing you know, he's up and getting cure all over him. Oh, Ayaka, you were so mean to me when I kicked you out of my life. And then I brought Ayaka back in. I started doing tower. I started using her, and she was the hero that D-Team needed. And, you know, slowly we began to rekindle our relationship. And then we found out, basically, that my ex-waifu, Whisper, or as I call her, Sasayaki, we found out she was stabbing us in the back. So Ayaka is S tier, guys. I love Ayaka. That's never gonna change. We might have a breakup again, and that's okay. But, you know, we got back together. She's been slowly winning my heart over. She's gonna be S tier. Nasha. Now, y'all, if you like Nasha, she is a pretty cool unit. I wanted to level her, and then I didn't want to level her, and then I wanted to level her, and then I didn't want to level her, and then I wanted to level her. So Nasha and I have been off and on for quite a while in terms of me using her and developing her and leveling her. Unfortunately for Nasha, though, she is pretty much relegated to permanent C tier status. I almost never see other players embracing the Nasha lifestyle, and, you know, it's understandable. She's an MR tank, you already have Mont, you're probably pulling for Warrior of Light. Why are you gonna need a nice elemental tank? Nasha, you know, she's a special type of girl, and if you like the pink hair and you're not already going for Little Lulu or Merluke or the Twin Tails, then yeah, Nasha might be your girl. Victora. Auto S tier. Auto S tier. This girl has served me so good. I have to say, when I first encountered Victora, I was a little lackluster. I was kind of like, Victora, you know, she's okay. You know, not a big deal. And then she came into my life on my first pull. You know, it was just a chance pull. It was a chance encounter. I rolled the dice. She appeared for me. And I was just like, okay, maybe I'll invest in her a little bit. I like the Dragoons. And, you know, she changed my life. She really made a difference. And she's my strongest unit. Sid? Nah, get Sid out of here. Victora? Way better. So, Victora, thank you for coming into my life. You do deserve S tier. And I can't wait to find Glaciella for you. Medina. Used to hate Medina. When I was first beginning in this game, Medina, her limit burst just ruined my life every time I played Arena. I couldn't make it into top 5,000. Medina's would just run forward and LB my ass and I would just straight up die. Medina used to be the bane of my existence. But you know, not anymore. Medina is now my PvE farmer. There are much scarier enemies in Arena than Medina. And Medina has kind of become a, you know, pretty powerful asset. So I would say overall, Medina is going to be put in A tier. I think we will use her. I think she's pretty good viability. She's not going to torment your life. So yeah, I would say A tier. Yerma. Yerma was good like once. And that one time that Yerma was good was in the chocolate pudding raid. And even then, she wasn't as good as Lucia. And even now, Yerma is kind of like, yeah, it's Yerma. Like, you never walk into, like, a live PvP or an arena and you're like, oh, it's Yerma. I fear for my life. You never do that. So, despite the love Merlo has for Yerma, I am going to put Yerma in C tier. She's kind of fun to play around with. She's a great one-night fling. If you pulled her, though, you're not going to use her as your waifu. Get her out of here. Sorry, Merlo. Miranda. Miranda, like Victora, is an auto S tier. Miranda and I have had a long, fruitful relationship. Miranda is the one who was always waiting for me when I came home. I was farming shards for her for quite a long time, and I finally managed to MLB her recently, and she is everything that I expected. High defense, high magical bloodlust, cure all over the place. She's amazing. She does it all. Her AI is competent. I mean, you know, how can you go wrong? So Miranda definitely gets the S tier for me. Ramada. Ramada's a solid B tier. I don't think Ramada is anything particularly special. She is very good. She has good agility. She's going to be good in the upcoming Ifrit raid. You know, she has some pretty good attacks. But I mean, at the end of the day, she's Ramada. And also, it doesn't help that her pose in-game is always like this. I'm Ramada, and you can see my armpits, and I'm so sexy. I'm Ramada. Look at the stars. What do the stars tell you? That's Ramada. Now, Ramada, when Christmas Ramada comes out, Christmas Ramada is an auto S tier just because of her ass. I mean, if y'all have seen that thing or haven't seen that thing, in terms of waifu tier list, get it up there. That's definitely auto S tier. Eileen. I'm gonna say Eileen is a solid A tier. I think Eileen has a very loyal waifu following, and most of those are the people who watch Orange, and that's okay. You can have a waifu who's not the strongest unit in the game, and they can be rated relatively high on the waifu tier list because they got the pink hair, they got the waifu status, and you got people who are loyal to her. Would I ever say anything bad about Eileen on my stream? No. And fun fact, when I first started as a YouTuber and Twitch streamer, people on Reddit, now I love you Reddit, now don't get angry at me Reddit, people on Reddit were like, Eileen is Dig's favorite unit, what the hell is he talking about? Eileen's so shit. Just want to clarify, Eileen was never my favorite unit. And I have no idea how I got associated with the fact that Eileen was my favorite unit. No idea, but that's my history with Eileen. Eileen is like that girl that walks in and they're all like, you see Diggs over there? I heard Diggs slept with her. I heard she carrying, I heard she's carrying Diggs' baby. That's the rumors that go on about me and Eileen. So just straight up, guys. Eileen is not my favorite character, but I respect the following that she has. Mariluke, you know, Mariluke, solid C tier. And the only reason I'm putting Mariluke in solid C tier is going to be because recently it was made aware to me that she was able to do 7k attacks. And I was like, that's pretty cool. It's about the extent of my Mariluke knowledge is, you know, oh, that's cool. She can do 7k damage. I'm never going to level her. I do know there's, similar to Eileen, a loyal following for Little Lulu here. And because of that, I am going to recognize the following behind Little Lulu. And I am going to put her in A rank. Her capabilities, dumpster tier. I would never use her as a unit. But I recognize she's the comedic relief in the story. She's kind of a fun unit. She's a lolly for people like Bob. So, I mean, you know, you're always going to have people who are going for the lollies. And, I mean, she has a respectable following, so we're going to put her in A tier. Popular opinion that Phoebe is actually secretly a great unit, so we're going to put her in S tier. She served me well. Phoebe served me very well. She's the reason I was able to clear Tower. She is the reason I was able to clear 19EX on Tower. I didn't have Ayaka leveled at that time. All I had was Phoebe, and she carried my ass hard. And I never thought that Phoebe would be that unit who would carry me, because she doesn't have access to full life. Or Kuraga. Or maybe it's... Yeah, I don't think she has access to Kuraga. I think she has Kurada. I can't remember. But either way, she carried me so hard. She's deserving of S tier. Fina. Solid B tier. Fina's pretty much just like given away at this point. Ain't nobody pushing really hard. Ain't nobody pushing really hard for Fina. So she gets a solid A tier. Solid A tier. Liarte. D tier because you're always screwing me over. Frederica. I'm gonna put you in D tier as well. We're just not a huge fan of you. I think Frederica. So here's the problem with Frederica. Frederica, you know, she was good until Lucia came, and Lucia's better. And then I start running Miranda in my composition, and all of a sudden everybody is wanting to run Frederica. And the next thing you know, like, holy shit, Frederica's are one-shotting my Miranda because they have like a homing missile on my Miranda because she's water element. Just saying. Frederica, you piss me off. So you get to go to D tier, Frederica. Remember, this is 100% objective, guys. Similar to Ayaka, Salir and I had a ongoing relationship for a little bit. We kind of had a fight when we first met. I wasn't the biggest fan of her. And let me tell you why I wasn't the biggest fan of her. She is overhyped. Everybody was like, Salir is god tier. Her AI is going to overwhelm you. Everybody's gonna use Salir because she's gonna be the best healer, the best nuker, and her AI is superior. Newsflash, it's not. Just like I said it wasn't. Go in Arena. How many people are running Salir right now? Come on. Come on. Live PvP. How many people are running Arena? If we had statistics, it would 100% back me up. That Twin Tails is going into C tier. The only reason she's not D tier is because I recognize she does have some viability. And I recognize she does have a following. But honestly, I don't know. I think she is overhyped, and I still think she's overhyped. Talking about overhyped units, everyone. Let's talk Whisper. D tier. Now, this is not to say that Whisper does not have her uses. She absolutely does. However, Whisper is a single-use tool, and she's a tool that can't be reused. What do I mean by that? If you're looking for like casual gameplay, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go run some arena, and then you make your slash-resistant Whisper, and then all of a sudden you run into only missile teams, you're gonna have to go in, reset your Whisper. Next thing you know, it's a whole process. I mean, yes, I've seen the video where she takes 1 damage. How many teams are running just slash units? Not many. So that's why I think she has very limited viability. I think it's cool. I think she's a fun unit to play with. I think you can target specific teams with her. I do not think she is like the end-all be-all god tank that we have all wanted. And I think her skill cap is very high compared to other tanks, and I would say most players are not whale enough to make use of her skill cap. Venera. Venera, you're also D tier. Now, I love Venera, but she is a pain in my ass right now. I don't know about any of y'all over there, but evasion up the ass is so obnoxious, particularly in guild battle. We now have messages in my guild chat that are like, oh, here, I'll give you the quote. This was Giant talking in guild chat yesterday. Hold on, navigate my Discord here. All right, where is he? Where is he? Okay. All right, here we go. I got melted. Don't fight blank because they are a beastly evasion team and I 0-starred. We need Nikki Dio. And then Nikki Dio said, did you say accuracy build, Giant? Dub C is dead. So, Dub C, wherever you are at out there, my guild was talking about your evasion build, and good job on it, because it killed Giant in like 1 shot. Naya, I actually know Naya's name now. Naya was a unit that I didn't know the first time, or actually I omitted from the waifu tier list. Now, if you didn't know, she is Shoots Out's dead wife. Ain't nobody using her. We're just putting her in D tier. Lucia, solid B tier. Honestly, I can't give you a reason on why I don't have Lucia S tier. She kind of started out S tier, and then her coolness level kind of just like slowly dropped over time. She's B tier now. If I see a Lucia, I'm like, okay, there's Lucia. That's how I feel. I mean, she's no Bikini Lilith, right? Like, when Bikini Lilith comes in here, like, I mean, Bikini Lilith S tier immediately. Ziza. We're gonna put Ziza in C tier. The only reason Ziza's in C tier is because of her TMR. Now, I recognize she could be a pretty good waifu, because she does have steal time. So if you guys have ever been to Marilo's stream, you know, he's invested in his Ziza, he loves his Ziza, and he loyally swears by his Ziza. I will say, there is a secret Ziza cult that is going on in War of the Visions, and I know you all exist out there. I know the Ziza cult is out there. And for those of you who are in the Ziza cult, yeah, she's a pretty good unit. For the rest of y'all that just level her for her TMR and junk her, she's the C tier unit that everyone thinks she is. So I will say, secretly S tier, but for the general community, C tier. Because they only see her as a TMR leveling hoe that they just go down and pick up off the street. Shadowlynx. Shadowlynx, you're gonna be C tier. Now, why Shadowlynx C tier? Because when I was running the White Flan raid, Shadowlynx, more often than anyone else, destroyed my slashing and dark chain by using a normal attack. That's the sole reason Shadowlynx is there. And while I may not be the best raid player, and other people may not be the best raid players, I am not the damn Shadowlynx that is just like melee slashing without samurai sub. Like, just saying, guys. Kilfei. You know, Kilfei B tier, I would say. she's kind of like Lucia. Like, there's a lot of people who swear fealty and loyalty to her. There's a lot of people who knew she was going to be their waifu. But I mean, honestly, if I had her as a waifu, I feel like she would just kick my ass. Like, she... like, I wouldn't want to come home and be like, Kill Faye, I'm home. And then I would just get like a staff thrown in my face. I mean, look at her. She's so mean. And she's a villain in the storyline. So yeah, Kill Faye is B tier. Finally, we have Lilith. And my girl Lilith, we're going to put in S tier. Now, why are we putting her in S tier? Because pretty soon, she's going to be getting a bikini. She's going to be all up in that, and she's going to be pretty good. So, overall, guys, that was my updated waifu tier list. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a long time coming. And I hope you guys, if you're buying Visior, use my affiliate link, dig.gs/coins, or you can go get our special offer at dig.gs/offer. Other than that, guys, make sure you leave a comment down in the YouTube section. I'm sure there's going to be lots of raging down below. And of course, come join our Discord at dig.gs/discord. And I do stream 5 days out of the week. So come and check me out and have a great rest of your day, everyone.